Okay everyone, it's finally happened. We now have our first look at Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice. At least for those of us who didn't go to Comic-Con last summer. This is one of my most anticipated movies of 2016, as I'm sure it is for a lot of people. So the teaser starts out and we're in Chicago. I know that city any day of the week. And we see the silhouette of a statue. I wasn't quite sure who it was at first. And we hear voiceovers upon voiceovers about how the world is reacting to Superman. Some people think he's a savior, others just want him to leave us alone. Now this is a premise that we've seen in a lot of other movies like Spider-Man and Transformers, and now we have it with Superman. I'm not saying it's a bad move, it's safe. And I'm curious to see how Superman is going to take that. And as we zoom in closer to this statue, we hear this chanting, "Go home, go home." And the music is all swelling up, it's really eerie. I think that was done really well. And then the light shines on it, you see the Superman S, and you see that someone has spray painted on it, "False God." That's the thing that's not too scary to me. Property gets defaced all the time. There is graffiti all over the world. The message "False God" is a little menacing, yeah, but it was probably done by some hater who's not really that important. I'm just saying, I know what the teaser was going for, but it just didn't hit me full impact. However, then we see Ben Affleck as Bruce Wayne. He's all pouting because he's Bruce Wayne, and I personally think he looks pretty good. We all know the character of Bruce Wayne by now, whether it's by the Nolan movies or the Arkham games or both. He's dark, he's brooding, he's Batman. And now we hear Jeremy Irons as Alfred doing a voiceover saying, "All the rage, the feeling of powerlessness, that's the stuff that'll turn good men evil." It's like he's quoting Yoda, you know? Anger, aggression, that's the path to the dark side. I suck at impressions like that, but you know. However, I love how this new Batman looks. I've seen all the concept art, you know, and the first look pictures. I never really thought that much of them. Pictures don't really do it for me. I looked at the picture and I went, yeah, that looks like Batman. I still had no idea if Ben Affleck was going to be good in the role. First look pictures don't tell me that kind of stuff. It's the teasers that count. And looking at Batman in this teaser, I think he looks awesome. He's a lot bigger than the Nolan Batman. The bat symbol looks like it's from The Dark Knight Returns. Ultimately, it looks like this Batman is going to take us back not to the comics, but to the animated series, which is what I want. That's what I want from all these Batman characters coming back to the big screen. The Joker and Harley Quinn. The Arkham games, man. The Arkham games. And from there, we get our montage of cool stuff. We get to see a little of the Batmobile, which is cool. The Batmobile from the Nolan trilogy, I thought it was alright. It was functional in the movies, but it wasn't the Batmobile, you know? It was a big black tank. It was called the Tumbler. This thing really looks like the Batmobile, once again bringing it back to the comics and the animated series. Then we see more shots of Batman. There's one shot that's straight out of The Dark Knight Rises, and then we come to the head of it. We see big robotic suit Batman looking up through the rain, and we see Superman up in the sky. He's all ominous. This, of course, is pretty much the footage that people at last summer's Comic-Con got to see. But then we hear Batman talk, and he says,
"Tell me, do you bleed? You will."
I'm not so sure about Batman's voice here. I didn't think he was going to sound like Nolan's Batman at all, but he kinda does. It is a little deeper and slower, but it's still very gravelly. He sounds like a mix of Caesar from Planet of the Apes and Smaug the Dragon. I don't know why, but that kind of voice is just huge in Hollywood these days. But I really like the premise of this movie. It looks dark, it looks like it'll be taking us back to what we liked about the characters so much in the first place, while also giving it that modern edge. And it'll be a proper introduction to the DC cinematic universe. I'm curious about what kind of role Wonder Woman will have in this movie. I'm not surprised at all that she's not in this teaser. We will most likely see her in the next trailer along with Lex Luthor. In the meantime, we got this to enjoy. So the first teaser to Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice. What did you think about it? Whatever you thought, go ahead and leave a comment. And don't forget to subscribe.